In this video, I'm going to share with you guys how I organize all of my blog content. And when I say organize my blog content, it really means all the images that go with my lifestyle blog and food blog. A lot of my blogs are really image heavy, and so I take a ton of pictures with my DSLR, and so I normally will not delete them all. I will store all the raw files as well as the JPEGs that I export. And let me tell you, it's come in handy a few times. So I want to share with you how I store all of it, how I organize it, which is the most important thing, and also what you should do in order to prioritize what's important for your blog. Over the past decade, I've taken a ton of photos around my house for the blog. It's kind of ridiculous. I have a network attached storage device. And if you don't know what a Synology is, I'll go ahead and link to a video where I talk about my network attached storage device, which is the Synology. But overall, I have about 13 terabytes worth of data, and I feel like I'm a hoarder of digital media. And so I generally keep most of my images, even when I cull them. I'll normally do like one pass at culling all the images. Culling just means like deleting the files after you take the photos. And so I'll do a one pass and then I'll keep the rest, to be honest. And it's come in handy when I've had to update my blog posts, when I've used like really bad presets for some of my images. You remember back in the day when people would like do filters on their images? That's what I did for my blog. And so I was able to go back and actually get some of the raw files and edit them and make them look super clean and upload them to my blog. But the problem is that like oftentimes I'll create another project. I want to reference another photo that I took, and because I wasn't organized, it didn't allow me to actually reuse some of those photos. So I had to go and basically take more photos, and then it gets lost in this like network attached storage device. I have for the last 3 months been migrating to this new process, which I absolutely love. In short, what I really do is go into WordPress, whatever blog I'm creating that day, or whatever content piece I'm creating that day. I will take the post ID that WordPress gives it, and then I will use that to name my folders in that structure. So I'm going to go ahead and show you guys what that looks like on the computer. I'm going to go ahead and show you guys what my organization looks like, and I will tell you that I've been organizing my YouTube content way better than my lifestyle content, because my lifestyle blog has been around for 10 years. And so what I'm going to show you is basically how I organize YouTube. It's going to be the same thing as I do for a blog, and I'll show you what my blog looks like and actually update it real time so that you guys can see how you could potentially streamline your workflow. At the end of the day, the goal is to be able to reuse content so that you're not having to take photos again and like edit them and all that. But if you have all your files organized in a way that you can reference them when you're creating your content and creating your blog or video or whatever you're creating, you are able to access like B-roll or images really easily. This strategy will help you streamline some of your processes that you have for content creation. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and show you my folder. So this is my folder structure here for my YouTube channel, which is all about blogging and tech gear, right? And so I have these numbers in here. Some of the numbers are missing. I totally get it. But YouTube doesn't actually give you a ID for your video, and so I just made one up based off of, let me just show you my Notion. So here's Notion, right? And I have a list of videos that I've created along with the title, whether it's a short, duration, publish date, all that stuff, right? And if you guys haven't used Notion, it is amazing. I've basically transferred most of my to-do lists, even grocery lists that I can like copy from week to week. I have my journal in there. Like there's tons of things that Notion can do, and it's all in one database, which is absolutely amazing. And you can create your own databases inside of it, just like this. So what you can see here is that I have this YouTube channel that you're watching, and this is how I create content and organize content. So each of these numbers represents one of the files that I have in my network attached storage device. And so the folder that you're seeing here is actually like a device that I have in the kitchen where it's storing. It's not actually on my hard drive. And so this is basically all the videos that I have. And then if I go to Notion as a blogger, this is all the content for that video that I created. Now, if I go to my lifestyle blog, okay, my lifestyle blog, I manage a little bit differently. There's so much content there that I decided to use Excel, and I'm going to show you like this file that I sent to a VA to create Pinterest images on, but that's neither here nor there. What I wanted to show you is the post ID. There's a plugin. I'll go ahead and link down below to the plugin, but there's a plugin that will allow you, if you have a ton of content on your WordPress site, to export all that content metadata. The metadata is literally like, hey, this is a blog post, and what did you tag that blog post for? Like, what are the tags on there? What are the categories? Like all that stuff. And so I use this plugin to pull the post ID, and that's what I'm using as an index to reference for my file structure. And so here's the post ID for my lifestyle blog. Here's the link about it, and then these are Pinterest titles. Ignore that. So if I go into my blog lifestyle content that I have on my computer and my network attached storage device, back in the day, I actually organized it by these categories here. And even when I organized them, like I spent hours organizing them into these categories, like I couldn't find what I was looking for. However, what I found was that being able to reference it by blog was really, really key, because I can go to my blog, search it, see the images. If I like them and I need to edit them more, then I can reference that post ID. So, okay, so I am using the Feast plugin. What's amazing about the Feast plugin is that it actually gives you the post ID on top. But if you didn't want to install a Feast plugin because it's kind of expensive, what you can do is click on Edit Post here on whatever your blog post is, and at the very top, it will give you the post ID. And so that post ID is what I will actually use to either search for that blog post or also rename my folder structure of that blog post. So for example, for this one right here, if I search it, because I exported it, this one should have a link, yep, to my master bedroom reveal, right? And so if I go into my folder structure, this is what I plan on doing for like an hour this week. I'm going to rename that file. So let me see here, the reveal. And so, you know, if I created this post like 4 years ago, I mean, this means nothing to me, reveal. I was able to find it pretty easily with you guys watching me, but what I'm going to do is just rename it 3461. And then it'll allow me to, in the future, if I wanted to go update that post or add more images or whatever, I can go in there and see all of the images in here and then edit them. And so that's really how I'm organizing all my content. It's going to be by post ID or by YouTube number. And that number for YouTube is like arbitrary. It's my number, it's not YouTube's number. YouTube doesn't give us like a post ID or anything similar. If you guys know of one, feel free to comment below, because I'd rather use YouTube's identification process rather than my own. But this is how I'm organizing my content so that I can reference it. Now, if you guys look through my content here, and again, this is for my lifestyle blog where I talk about home decor, motherhood, and all that stuff. I mean, I have the folders based off of like categories that I come up with, which I mean works, but at the same time, I would prefer having like a 1-for-1 match on my folder structure and my ID structure in my Excel sheet. Because at the end of the day, I just need to be able to reference that blog and update it and just make sure that I'm optimizing it for SEO purposes. I know that what's also great about this structure is that it also allows me to scale when I need to. For example, I hired some people to create Pinterest pins and descriptions for me so that I could focus on what I like most, which is creating graphics rather than writing like 3 or 4 sentence descriptions about my pin, because I really hate doing that. And so I hired out for that, which was fine. And so what's great about this is that I actually use Adobe XD to create my Pinterest pins. If you guys want to see how I use that, go ahead and click on the video that I'll just link here as well. And the reason why I use Adobe XD is because it's just really easy just to copy and paste and just edit things as you go. I'm going to show you what that looks like. So if I click on the folder structure here and I go to, let's see, Adobe XD files, here are all of my Pinterest images for that post ID. So if I go ahead and click on, let's say, grain sack pillows, right, 2579. I have like a template that I copied and pasted pretty much, but then I can like create content here and then just export it out pretty easily. And so that's probably a bad example because I haven't updated it yet. So let me just pull one that I have just recently updated. So let's see, Cricut pillows with infusible ink. So you can see here I have one image here, right? And so normally what I'll do is I'll go in, open 10 of these files, and then create an image, copy and paste the image. Like literally I'm just doing copy, paste, send to back, and then like just, you know, modifying this a bit. And then I have the file and I'm able to reference 7726, and then I go here, 7726, and then finding the Pinterest title, the description, and just copying and pasting into Tailwind or Pinterest or wherever you do pins. But I use Tailwind, and so it's really as easy as that. I'm literally just copying and pasting, and then if I ever want to hire this work out, things are organized and indexed so that people can reference them. That's really how I organize my blog and YouTube content. I know that was pretty boring for some of you guys, but I am a project manager through and through, and I know that If you create a structure and a way to reference things really easily, it'll make things a lot faster and streamline a lot of your processes. If you like content like this, go ahead and check out my free online course. It's not clickbait, it's not tripwire. I literally kind of share with you guys everything that I know. It is a course that is a work in progress right now. My goal is to finish it by the end of 2022, crossing my fingers, but just wanted to share the knowledge and basically pass on all the things that people have passed on to me when I was starting out. So I'm just trying to pay it forward. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to leave a comment below or leave questions in the course and I'll be happy to answer them. And make sure that you check out some of these other videos as well, especially my blog income reports. I know those are pretty popular on my channel. Thanks guys, take care.